Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we are going to be creating a background, interesting backgrounds for our collages. And I do have to apologise up front because this has been a highly requested video. And when I went to put it all together, I realised I forgot the second half of actually videoing the bit where I do the collage. So I do apologise. The collage bit is pretty straightforward. I'm just putting gel medium on and gluing down the collage tissue. But yeah, I'm really sorry. However, if you've got the church doodle set, you'll quickly identify which images I've used and how I've used them. So basically, I've shown you to the end of making the page, and then I put the collage tissue over the top. So I'm starting off on a denim page, and I've just put a little bit of white gesso. I think I actually had white paint to do this in the background. The reason for that is, while I love the denim and it's beautiful neutral, by putting paint over the top, you're obviously going to have those blue tones to it. So I wanted these colours to be quite nice and bright, and I wanted to have the contrast against the blue. So by having the white in the background, that just helps to lighten them up a little bit. I also did this while the white was still wet, so you can see I'm muting down my colours a little, so that fuchsia is not as intense as it usually is. And the orange is blended in together as well. So it's a really great way to blend your colours together. Now, while I was doing this, I've used analogous colours, which are colours that sit next to each other on the colour wheel, which meant I didn't have to worry about colours not working together. I knew that those oranges and pinks and fuchsia, when I blend them together, I'm still going to get a pleasant colour in the background. So now I'm just putting in some mark making. And to do this, I'm using some contrasting colours. So I'm using marine, which is like a petrol blue colour in this. And the mark making I'm doing is really simple because I'm just using my brush. So I've got a square tip brush, or a flat brush, and I'm just using that to make the marks on the page. When I'm doing marks, I tend to do them in 3 areas across the page, or I put them directly across the page like I've done with this orange. And again, I'm not doing anything fancy, I'm just using my brush tip to do it. So just pressing it down onto the page, getting a mark, and then moving on to the next bit. So I'm using the colours, repeating colours in the background. So I used that colour, the orange in the background, but it was muted down. So by putting it back over the top again, it sort of just adds a little bit of punch to it. You'll also notice when I'm doing my mark making, I'm overlapping my marks. So just because I've got the marine bit there doesn't mean that I'm not going to put the orange through it. It helps connect everything, and it helps your eye lead across the page. The other thing I'm doing now is doing some stenciling. So stenciling is a great way, if you're not confident in doing mark making, it's a great way to add marks to your page. So this is one of the new stencils called Bonds. And I'm just going in and adding some white over the top. But you will notice, because I'm stenciling it almost straight away, it is picking up some of that orange, and it's sort of melding through to create a sort of muted colour, which I really liked because I wanted those colours to sort of continue throughout my page. So you'll notice when I'm stenciling, I'm using my sponge. I'm sponging it out onto the glass after I put the paint on, so it's worked into the sponge itself, and then I am tapping it up and down with a up and down motion. I'm not swiping it across, because if you swipe it across, you're likely to get some paint through your stencil somewhere you don't want it. The final little bit of stenciling I'm doing on here is again using contrasting colour with the turquoise. And using that little mark making stencil from the Dina Wakley one. So again, you could do that with paint pens, you could do it with your brush, but if you've got a little stencil that can help you do it, well, why not use your stencil? It's just as easy. So when it comes to mark making, I am fairly good at doing it, but to be honest, I put out a little bit of paint on my palette and I just keep making marks until I've used up all the paint. So, you know, don't be stingy. And if you don't want to use it all on one page, go on and use it on the next page. So you can see the sheet that these images came off. I actually fussy cut them down really close to the edge of the image, so they are sitting together. And this is one long strip of faces that were all joined up together that I've just cut out. The I'm Breath, I'm Wanting, I'm a Whisper come from the alphabet collage tissues, and again I've just cut those out and stuck them onto the page using gel medium. So I've got lots of videos on my channel to show you how I stick down collage tissue if you are wanting to know more about that, but it's fairly self-explanatory. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's lots of fun to do, and until next time, bye for now.